The following episode of By Identity is rated.
I think nothing screams more big dick energy than when you do something without me having to tell you how to do it.
The views expressed are based solely on the opinions and experiences of individuals in the constant process of progress. The use of adult language and content is a given because, duh, bitch, we grown as fuck. Listener discretion is advised.
Right. So also, I think it's important to know your partner's love language as well, because just because you want to receive one way doesn't mean that they also receive in the same way. And I think, understanding like how they associate love and what they associate love with is also important to make sure that you're not only getting what you need, but also that they're getting what they need. And it's not a one-sided type of expression of affection. That kind of rhymes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As you stated earlier, there are five types of love languages. And so here's the five types. You have words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, quality time, and acts of service. So, starting with words of affirmation, that's usually like encouraging your partner, showing them that you appreciate them, listening, and just affirming who they are as a person with your words. That's all I got.
Well, yeah, I think words of affirmation is a very important love language because for some people it's not just enough for me to or hold on, let me go back. Speaking for me personally, it's like sometimes it's just better to hear somebody say I love you or say I appreciate you instead of me always having to like assume, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like there is meaning in words and um like I think it really is important for you to not only physically show affection but to verbally say it, like speak it into existence, speak our love into existence, and just so that I know. And I do know that it varies from household to household because this is actually really funny. I was really reading a post not too sorry. I was reading a post not too long ago about how like in an African households versus African American households that um in African households, there's not really too much of the words of affirmation. It's just more so like the parents do stuff for the kids and they don't necessarily say like, I love you, but the kids know it. Versus like in like American households, it's more so that words of affirmation. So that I guess that kind of goes to show how you are raised can affect the type of love you want to see in a relationship. And I can even say with my own parents, I mean, they're not African, we're African American, Black, whatever, but they don't necessarily like say I love you, but they express it to each other in terms of, my dad, getting up to cut the grass and my mom doing her part and whatnot. So yeah. But I will say that that doesn't work for everybody. Some people physically or they have to hear that, that you love them and that you're there for them.
I think in a sense everybody kind of looks for those words of affirmation just to know that they're like doing a good job or to know that like you appreciate them like you said, and just to hear somebody tell you how they feel about you and to hear that like yeah, you're an awesome person. Like I think it's something too that like yeah, you can show it, and to me like actions speak louder than words, but sometimes every now and then you just kind of need the words as well. So, yeah, I agree with all that.
And also for me, on a personal note, like another reason why I like to hear those words of affirmation is because it's just nice to know that whatever you're doing it for me and not just for yourself. Because I do think that sometimes or excuse me, it can get mistaken for in relationships that, people are doing certain acts out of love and because they're committed to you, when in reality, they're really just doing it to like stay afloat. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to, they're just doing their part as of now as your partner, when in reality, they're just waiting for something better to come along. So that's another reason why I think that it's important to have words of affirmation.
And also just to simply know you're doing a good job, especially if you're an overthinker like myself and you kind of like feel unsure about things sometimes. Like, well, am I doing this right? Am I doing too much? Or, this or that. Like sometimes it helps eases the mind to just like hear like, hey, you're actually doing more than enough. And I really appreciate that.
Exactly.
So you want to go into the next one?
Oh, yes. So that next one is physical touch. The nonverbal body language and touch. How do we feel about this way of communicating love?
My kind of love. No, I mean I'm all about physical touch. Like because I'm a very like physical person. So for me a lot of the time I've realized, especially this past year, that that's one of the ways that I specifically like express love is to just be able to touch the person, not like like in a sexual way or anything like that. It could just simply be like sitting next to the person, but being able to just like my arm like touches them, or like holding hands, or just being like in the presence of like their physical body. Um, it's a way that I realize like I not only want to show but also like receiving from another person. So it's like if I like you, I'll touch you, or I have no problem touching you and no problem with you touching me. If I don't really know you like that, it's like, okay, please don't. Kind of like Sasha around other people that's not Adia.
I swear that one finicky behind cat. Oh my goodness. You know what? And I don't want me to get off topic, but I really do think it's just like female cats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like male cats are a lot more friendly versus like female cats. They're like literally like they're just like they like their people and that's it.
And see, that's kind of like why I feel like I guess it's also to take out something. Well, I kind of feel like I'm a cat and a dog person because like I'm sometimes like how cats are is like, well, don't touch me. Like, I don't want to be bothered with you. But on the other hand, it's like, I'm also kind of like how dogs are when they're like, oh, please touch me. Please play with me. Please hug me. Let me kiss you. Like, it's like I'm both. It just depends on who I'm around or like kind of like what mood I'm in.
Yeah, I used to be a cat person, but now I'm 100% a dog person. I will say though, cats to me, they just have a one up and being a lot more like low maintenance because dogs, they can get depressed if you don't spend enough time with them. So
I think that's what Ace is going through right now.
Aww.
I kind of been mad at him for the past couple of days because he pissed on my couch.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I haven't really been showing him affection, and I think that's why he's showing out right now.
I swear dog pee is, oh God. Ugh.
Well, I mean, I think it was just excited, granted, but still. Really, nigga? So I haven't been letting him on the couch because, yeah, he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, to mark his territory.
Mark it on the floor. I get the carpet clean. I don't care about that, but whatever. Anyway, physical touch.
Physical touch. Yeah, much like you, Candy, I only really like people in my personal space when I know you like that. If I don't know you, please remain not even 6 feet. Please remain 12 feet away from me at all times.
Extra social distancing.
Like for real though, like I really like real talk. I do not like people in my personal behind space. My biggest pet peeve. Have you ever been walking like anywhere, like in a grocery store or in the mall, and like there's all this space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody will still have to walk right next to you. I'm like, bruh, move, shoot, all this space, and you gotta like be all up on me. Or like if you're sitting on the bus and there's all these empty seats, right? But somebody has to sit right next to you, and I'm just like, can you move? And in terms of like love, this is physical touch, and I'll talk about this more later on. That was actually rated pretty low for me when I took the test, but not really surprising. I definitely am more of a quality time person. Like I like being around people.
Gotcha.
Physical touch, I don't really, assuming it's somebody I like, I don't really care if like, somebody like wants to touch me. I'm just not that much of a touchy-feely person. I used to be, but not so much anymore.
To listen to the rest of the episode, please go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Anchor FM. Thank you for the support, and stay tuned for the next episode.